back to another edition of Love and Action Network podcast, Deconstruction, Junction. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. If you believe that you're loved and lovable, all you have to do is ask, believe, and receive, and great things will come to you. I'm an online coach and mentor and guide for bold dreamers. If you've got a bold dream today and you need support along your journey, I would love to connect with you. I've also just realized that I have 32 minutes to clip this podcast before I have to go. So let's rock and roll. Tara, who are you and how are you doing?
Folks. I will say shortly and simply that I'm Tara Priolo. Priolo is my last name. Y'all can find me at Tara Priolo Studio on all platforms and tarapriolo.com/links. And you can scroll back to all of our other podcasts to find out more about who I am. I don't know what's happening over there. We're eating lunch. And if you are interested, sorry. Did you want me to do it? If you are interested in being on Deconstruction Junction, we are lightly looking for some co-hosts in July, although we can take co-hosts early. So if you are in your deconstruction journey, your decolonization journey, your liberation journey, your toddler journey, and you would like to come discuss it with us, feel free to submit an intake form by going to lovedandlovable.org, or you can DM either Dr. Flo or I. I almost said the wrong website, y'all. That's what had happened. Yes. I don't have much more, babe. Okay. First up is another marketing stunt. And I didn't call it, I purposefully did not comment on, there's no more, look, there's no more. I didn't call it the White House Correspondents' dinner shooting because I don't think anybody is really clear about who shot a gun and who didn't. But I did bring a couple headlines. So if you would go to the next slide, please. So essentially what happened on Sunday night, suspected gunman at White House Correspondents' Dinner raises questions about event security protocol. And another headline reads, stretched thin. Secret Service faces renewed scrutiny after White House Correspondents' Dinner attack. Essentially, if you watch the video, you see the Secret Service running around, wondering where the shots are ringing out. They very slowly get the orange buffoon and his ilk out of there. And then Trump comes back later and says, essentially, that this is why he should have the funding to build his own ballroom. And so I'm just fully in it was staged. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like that's the consensus in the online space, that it was staged. But also, we've got the politicians doing the good speak of all political violence should be denounced. But that was the big story from the weekend.
I've seen better acting on Bravo.
He acted much better when he got shot in the ear. And Pete Hegseth? There was somebody else that like grabbed his wife's boob. Like there's like this picture of him like shielding himself, like, but also grabbing his wife's boob. And I just y'all needed more rehearsals. Okay? Y'all needed more rehearsals. Next time, get that together so that it's slightly more believable.
He didn't want to show up in the first place. I can tell when people want to cancel an event because I love canceled plans myself. And it's very clear that he didn't want to be there.
Well, but like the president usually doesn't attend that. So like it was just yep. Yep. You're done? Okay.
Someone said over on Threads, not everyone asking for advice is building community. Some people are just outsourcing effort. And then Lextopia says, and when it comes to online, I feel like most don't even want the advice, just engagement. Y'all, never forget for a second that 1 in 6 adults are lonely and they're depressed about their loneliness and they want to feel alive and a hit of dopamine by having anyone talk to them, especially folks online. So build your connections and build your community intentionally because there are people out here who are just simply engagement farming and aura farming because they are lonely and afraid of being alone. I've been on all sides of this, so I'm not speaking from a lofty place. I'm speaking from an experienced place. And it's wild out here. So hide your wife, hide your kids, and be very discerning about who you want to interact with, especially online.
I knew we were going to be either way. If we started right at 1, we were still, because you had that meeting right after. So I brought this. It's a picture of a man on Threads that I have been enjoying. If you go to the next slide. No, thank you. It's this gentleman who is, y'all, I don't know. I think he owns a farm or something. But he is just taking pictures with his harvests. And so I've seen like his strawberries. This one has strawberries for those of you listening on an audio platform. And I've seen the lettuce one. And I don't know. I just think I am trying to open, baby. I think it's very endearing. Very endearing. And it gives me joy. And I think more of us can post our vegetables and our joy online. And I remember having conversations on this podcast, in fact, of, people being scared to post their joy. And Flo was just talking about this on the people pleasers anonymous live this morning, about, like, people are gonna criticize you no matter what. Like, and you said it on Thread, like, somebody's gonna come for you, and so you might as well just be in your happy. And I don't know a damn thing about this gentleman. Talk about not building community with people. I don't know a damn thing about him other than he has really pretty harvests, and he seems joyful about it, and I am enjoying it. So that, more of that.
More compersion, more happiness for other people that has nothing to do with you. I love that. Heading back over to my threads. All of my shares today, y'all, are going to be from threads. I'm going to hit the button to
hit the wheel. What letter would you like to buy?
To get some, I'll take an A.
An A, okay. I would like a K. Y'all watching on the screen.
C.Reed.O'Brien says, being a bottom does not mean I stop being a huge fan of ass. Let's be serious.
Is that a common? Do people? I guess I wouldn't have thought that was a common thought, but maybe that is.
Also, Alex 3 English says, heterosexuality looks like hell. And then Hello Mr. Belo says, can't wash between your ass cheeks, can't use chapstick, can't do skincare, can't eat bananas, can't eat popsicles, can't eat ice cream, can't wear pink, can't smile, can't dance, can't laugh, can't like Beyonce, can't drink lemon drops, can't use an umbrella, can't wear jackets, can't like cartoons, can't cry, can't hug, can't be articulate, can't have feelings.
People in the comments added more. Someone said that someone like you can't go on vacation. Apparently that's a thing. Um I didn't know all those stipulations, but
I think that they're pointing towards straight men.
yes, I think they are as
There's
well.
definitely a sub for straight men that like have all these rules. I wouldn't want to be straight in this society because they're right. People are constantly looking at you, telling you that you can't be feminine, you can't use chapstick, you can't eat a banana. Like all these things cause the brothers to say pause and to question your whole expression because you want to live your fucking life. Y'all got too many fucking rules over there. Y'all can have them.
Somebody else in the comment section had said like something about y'all claim you're straight, but everything you're doing is to impress other men. And real.
The jig is up.
So a few weeks ago, we talked about all of the AI content coming out of about. I'm trying, baby. These things do not open well. Mommy might have to get a scissor. Which I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna open it. Just give me a second. I gotta get a scissor. Netanyahu had disappeared. Essentially, no one knew if he was dead. Nobody knew if he was alive. And I think to troll everybody in the world, the Israeli government started posting AI clips of him. And anyway, weeks later, it could even be months if we're being honest, he has been found, or at least his there is this post which is next, which I can't remember what news station it's from, but it is from a news station. It says Netanyahu it's from New York Times. Netanyahu reveals he had prostate cancer and underwent radiation therapy. The Israeli leader had surgery in 2024 for an enlarged prostate, and more recently, follow-up care detected a tumor. His office disclosed on Friday. So apparently he's been found. He has just been undergoing cancer treatment. But
He's
once again, who knows?
Piss.
Say that again?
He's miserable because he can't piss.
Mayhaps. But, prostate cancer, like, she can take you, girl. Like, I said it about Biden and I'll say about Netanyahu, okay? Y'all be coming out here talking about how these old men got prostate cancer, okay? And I think you're just prepping us to believe in a story even though they already did. That's my conspiracy theory.
Fuck them both.
Agreed.
Going back to threads and pulling on the lever in the casino called social media. People do not care about consensual conversations online. The minute someone tells me they don't want to continue, blocks me, or closes comments, I don't go out of my way to find another way to say something further. So many people do this because we do not live in a society that values consent or respects boundaries. When I say it's part of our grape culture, they get mad, but it absolutely is. Um, People have accused me of being this kind of person. If you say something ridiculous online and then I respond to you and then you block me or take down the post or delete my comment to pretend like the conversation didn't happen, I find that to be extremely inauthentic. And I will repost what you said and tag you in it. And women in particular online have accused me of being part of this culture. Why are you online in a public space not wanting to be engaged? Why do you think that you can just say things online and have no blowback? Um, this person is saying that people don't care about consensual conversations. By being online, you are consenting to the conversation. You don't have to be online, folks. You can go and talk to your neighbor who lives next door or call your sister friend on the phone. By being in the space, and I know that's why a lot of you are afraid of it, by being in the space, you consent to whatever conversation is happening around you. In the same way that in New York City, by being on the train, I consented to having people in the car with me. You all want to control spaces that you cannot control. If you don't want to be in controversy, don't say controversial things online. If you don't want people engaging with you or screenshotting your shit, stop posting. It reminds me of the people who don't like people selling to them or don't like people sharing so much about their lives. People online will say every day, stop sharing so much about your life. We don't want to see that. If you don't want to see it, log off the platform. We're not living for you, feminista. That shit's weird to me.
I came across one this morning of, it was like a question about toddlers, and she had her comment section restricted. And I was like, back to the advice one that you brought up first, like, did you want answers or not, girl? Because like, why is your comment section restricted? Why is your comment section restricted? And you know, this is similar to was it there was something that blew up on Threads like last week sometime, that people were like, this is so inappropriate and no one should be posting this online, la, 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 la. And I was just kind of like, but it's the internet. Like, you could stay in your joy and stay in your alignment and just hit there's a little three dots. You see it on Feminista Jones, and you could say, not interested. You could say nothing and block that person and change your algo. And if you're going to say snide shit online, okay, like some of y'all block people because you said something mean that you're not proud of and you can't back it up. Okay? And that's why we screenshot you before you done block us. Okay? That's why we screenshot you. I screenshotted all of y'all up in my comment section that I never responded to, because some of y'all are mean. And some of y'all, I know if I responded to you, you're going to block me. Right? And that's okay. You do what you need to do for your time, and that we can still share you, right? Y'all be so scared to be documented, but you're posting on the internet.
We live in such a scared, tormented, fearful society. It's fucking ridiculous.
Honestly, do you remember like the days on Facebook when people were like, don't say things about white people, don't do that because you might lose your job? And I was like, okay, report me. Like, okay.
I will give y'all the number to my boss. It's 404-585-1278.
And you will definitely speak with Helen and
You
the
can
lady
leave,
cooing on the track this
you can
morning.
leave a message for sure. But if you do, I'm going to play it on a live.
Right. Because like what, and I said this, I don't know if I said it in a reel yet. There's a bunch of scheduled reels happening, and I don't really know what's happening on my social media today. Y'all are just going to have to keep up. Anyway, I was saying this on a reel, I think, of like, one of the reasons that I have decided to be so vocal online with what I believe and like the morality and like why I respond to things now is because I want people to know exactly who they're getting in a room with. Right? Like, and it goes back to this conversation that Flo and I were having on Monday about like these generic posts that are like, you know, white pages, yellow pages on Threads, where it's like, I'm looking for a vocal instructor, and you're like, Where are you located? Are you open to online lessons? This kind of thing. Because I need to know who I'm getting in a room with. And so do they. Like, for instance, Minnesota Opera knows exactly who I am because of what I post online. Right? They know what business they are getting into when they hire me. And I have no fear. And this whole conversation came about because somebody was like, I'm really scared that, like, if I ask this question in rehearsal, I'm going to get fired and replaced. And I was like, then maybe you should have been more vocal before you got in the room. Same thing.
Yeah,
Here.
like presenting one version of yourself in your audition, and some would say all of life is an audition, and our Instagram feeds and our Threads feeds and our TikTok feeds are the audition. Presenting one version of yourself in the audition or the interview and then turning out to be a different person is the reason why we suffer. And a lot of people, even in their dating lives, we talked about this earlier in the week on Clubhouse, some people are afraid of presenting a certain version of themselves to their partners. And then they look up years later and their partner isn't happy with the person they presented. You were pretending the whole time. And Angie in our community always says that she said it to me years ago. It's still true. She says, Halloween is every day, Dr. Flo. Halloween is every day. And people will present their representative way before they present their true selves and then wonder why they feel rejection. You're being rejected because you put on your happy face. You presented a version of yourself that you can't keep up with, which is why I now come out online over the last few years and just present like this is my real voice. I used to be, hi everybody, it's Dr. Flo. It's so good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You can't keep that up forever. And then the moment that you start using your real voice and speaking from your real I am, people say, oh, he was pretending the whole time. And only truth and authenticity breeds trust and confidence. You can save yourself a lot of time and worry about just being who the fuck you are.
Well, and a lot of you, just to throw this out here, because I used to talk about this all the time, a lot of you build personal brands, especially you opera singers, to hide behind so that you don't have to show yourself. Trust me, it's not going to get you any more hired than the authentic people online. You know what I mean?
You're going to end up exhausted because keeping up that facade is very exhausting. You know, things have to be just so in order for you to thrive. And you're always running and playing this game of gotcha with strangers and people who know you. We are calling for ceasefire in our hearts, in our communities, and in our businesses, and in everything that we engage. Aren't you tired of fighting? Aren't you tired of warring with yourself? Aren't you tired of being afraid and scared that the other shoe's going to drop in your life? It may be time to call for a ceasefire. Since I started calling for a ceasefire in my mind and going into the direction of recovery programs and allowing people to not be in combative zones with me, things have been so much better. And I'm grateful for it. Tara, what are you calling ceasefire on?
Something is going wrong in the ether. I'm calling, first of all, I'm calling for ceasefire. Hello. You have reached Love and Action Network. We would love to help you. Let us know what you need help with. You're loved and lovable. That's the answer. You've reached Love and Action Network. Nope, I can't pick you up right now. Mommy's almost done. I would love to call for a ceasefire on the pregnancy burps because that's really an unnecessary thing. Also, I would like to call ceasefire on the kicking of the belly button because, ow. But I also want to call ceasefire on, I think it's step 4 of People Pleasing Anonymous, of the over-explaining and the over-explaining and the over-rumination, right? The overthinking of it all. Because I think that really traps a lot of us, and it certainly traps me in an endless cycle of like, it could be better, it could be better, it could be better. Yeah, and it is what it fucking is, bitch. So I would love to call ceasefire on that particular line of thinking.
Yeah, for sure. And Vaqux4958, VAQUX4958. For the podcast listeners, he came into the YouTube and asked, "Where TF am I? Where the fuck am I?" You're wherever you want to be. You're wherever you want to be. You're whoever you want to be. You're whenever you want to be. It's really up to you. And that's going to determine your happiness in life and your flow. Um, Once again, I'm no longer over explaining or overextending or over apologizing for who I am. We have years of content where you can figure out who we are. Where you are is on planet Earth. And I hope that you're happy about it. I have my own theories.
Thank you for stopping by, though. We appreciate your comment. Sincerely. Sincerely. Because you know what? A lot of the TikTok people and a lot of the YouTube people, they slide right on through and they never use their empowered hello. You need to know where you are. It sounds like you should probably seek out some help for that. Okay? Um, I'm so sorry. Also, just so you know, because I know we're not in closing thoughts, but that right there, what just happened, that laughing is why this podcast has been going for like almost 3 years. Anyway, continuing.
Yeah, people think that we show up for like them, but we really just show up to broadcast and amplify our aura of love and hope and joy. We're not here to be liked. We're just here to express ourselves. And if people come through and they know what the fuck is going on and they want to contribute positively, then, fine. Tara owns her own business. I own my own business. We have time laying around to deconstruct thoughts and amplify love. And so that's what we do, including our additional programs, Adopt a Black Artist and Creative Access Partners Program, daily support through Clubhouse and TikTok and beyond. Also, feel free to join our band app membership. You've got a lot of memberships for free and sliding scale that you can tap into. Also, you're able to get admin and support services from us. Those rates are very approachable. We also have new websites, lovedandlovable.org, drflow.com, and lovecityarts.net, where you can find out everything you need to know about where the fuck you are. I'm also hiring for Dr. Flow and the Love Experience. Would love to hear from talents who want to amplify and build a new kind of show and creative expression in the world. So you can find out more about that on my websites as well. This is a bit of what it will look like in the end. And Tara's got some announcements coming out of Tara Priolo studio.
Well, today is the last day of the birthday drive. However, Friday is Bandcamp Friday, where they do not take fees out of donations. So if you want to wait till Friday to donate, that would be cool. But I am doing a donation and listening drive, trying to get to 500 listens and $1,000. Someone did buy the album last night. Thank you to whoever you are. I have no idea who the email belongs to. Tried to look it up. I don't know who you are. If you want me to know, please message me. But once again, thank you for your purchase. We also have the I Dream a World archive project that's been a little stalled because she hasn't. Listen, y'all, sometimes copy and paste is overwhelming, and I'm currently copying and pasting 150 student submissions. So sometimes I don't feel like copying and pasting on my social media. Anyway, that will come back into fruition. And then we've got the Liberated Voice practice, which is with me. It has 4 tiers. The budgets for budgets anywhere from $25 a month to $300+ a month, and you are most welcome to set up a 30-minute trial session for that. I also last night on Instagram posted an offers reel, so if you're interested in all of the things that are happening in TPS, you can go ahead and go over to Instagram and observe that reel and just DM me with any questions.
Thank you, Tara. Closing thoughts for me, because I just saw somebody that's networked with us. Clowning AI again. Clowning people who use AI.
Ain't you tired, Hilly? Ain't you tired? Ain't you tired, Hilly? Ain't you tired? Ain't you tired?
Show me a person who is online trying to clown people who use AI or to say that they are better for not using AI. And I will show you a person who's trying to maintain control of their lives and trying to control what other people are doing. All of you who go online saying, it's not AI, I'm realer than you, are people who are desperately clawing at trying to actually express who the fuck they are.
Go make your biscuits elsewhere. Like, you
Just
know?
go and do what you need to do for you and be happy about what you're doing. What other people are doing has nothing to do with you. And you clowning the AI or performing your authenticity over the AI does nothing for us. You're literally spinning in a circle, girl. And you'll see it later, Tara.
Okay, girl. I look
See?
forward to the discussion during co-working. That's when in flow literally has to go in like 30 seconds. So I'm just going to wrap it up. Just make sure that you visit the websites because we have lots of programming and you're not going to get lost. We're going to help you. We're going to help you along the road, but you do have to be brave enough to ask the question. And you also have to be okay with bring your own beliefs. Like you some of y'all really have an expectation of our fearless leader, Dr. Flo, and an expectation of me and who we are, but we are a bring your own belief organization. We believe in disagreements and we believe that we can still stay in community together. So yeah, very interesting. When I find my phone again, I'm sure I will see what
Also, being anti something doesn't necessarily make you for something. I would rather see from you all what you are for in the world and what you're advocating for and what you want out of your life and who you want to connect with and who you want to collaborate way more than seeing that you're anti AI. That does not make you special. You look like a dinosaur, you sound like a dinosaur, you smell like a dinosaur.
Particularly when you're complaining about it on an app that is actively using AI to feed you the algorithm.
Girl, bye, and y'all bye.